that's your choice. Skinny nigga, but I'm looking like a Rolls Royce. Blue collar, still chillin' with the dope boys. Block crew alumni from the 1200s. Stellar Music, motherfucker, who the hell won it? The competition looking like a bunch of snails running, and only else that we take is when we well blunted. It feels good when I hit this perk. It feel good when she lift her skirt. It feel good how I killed this verse until we're murked. Our shit gets worse, like Luck said. You gon' get this work. Now let's go.
Nino, CEO, founder, Stellar Music. Stellar Music came from really trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted to do musically after leaving the previous label that I was a co-founder with. I took a year off of doing anything and just sat in the studio with different producers, engineers, really went around the city and just kind of introduced myself as my own entity, and really just sat there and thought about what kind of music does Stellar, or what kind of music do I want to make, and what do I want to represent before Stellar was even created. And I came up with Stellar Music because I love music. I love futuristic, outer space, new ideas, new horizon type things in life, and that's life to me. So put Stellar and music together, and we created Stellar Music Entertainment Enterprises. ENT is versatile, so we can do whatever we want to do, and that's where Stellar Music came from. Been doing all the audio mixing, recording, production. I do a lot of the graphic design that you see coming from it, which is a company that's branching off from Stellar called N-Line Designs. I help manage the events, manage the production of projects, the timelines, and help book events and organize them for the label and the artist, and just really try to be the umbrella for everybody, so the label's protected, the artists are protected, and make sure everything's in the best interest of the label. Stellar composes of 3 main artists: myself, Nino, signed artist Utica, Young Cracker. Then we have 2 DJs in the label too. We got 5-6, and then we have DJ Benji. The first artist was myself and a producer, and then I met Young Cracker through a mutual friend.
My homeboy had brought me over here, and he introduced me to Nino, and Nino sat me down and told me he was thinking about putting together his own music label and being the CEO and everything it was going to take to do that, and if I wanted to get on board, get on the team, I was with it.
Real raw dude. A mutual friend came in. He's like, my boy's ready to go. He has a lot of rhymes. He has a lot of music that he wants to do, and I brought him in the studio. I never shied away from helping anybody in this music here in the city, so I brought him down, threw him in the booth. Let me see what you got. Gave him a beat, and he just pursued to drop 48 bars off of his head for me, and I was just like, wow. Yeah, he's rough and raw, but he had a lot of potential that I could just mold, but he also had a lot of energy and drive, and he wanted it. So he was the first one to be on the label. 2010, he was officially signed with Stellar Music as an artist.
Stellar Music is, as far as music and life, and that's everything we live by. Like it's a code that we go by every day. Yeah, you know, you wake up, you gonna have a stellar day. You go to work, you get on the grind, you gonna be stellar at it. You throw on your gear, you gonna have some stellar gear. You go to a stellar show, you gonna have a stellar time. Just the struggle and the hustle. Probably just everybody want to say they came from nothing or came from the bottom, but we ain't come from a lot. We ain't started with a lot. I'm not gonna say my shit was the worst, but I know it wasn't the best. So just representing the struggle and coming up and being as a grown man, living better than I lived as a kid with my family. You know, it just shows progress through the whole struggle and how you got to do it as far as I'm concerned. And you just catch a lot of heart in there. You catch a lot of hustle, a lot of stories about what's going on and what's happened with me, and you can just kind of connect a little bit if you're on that same page. A lot of people might not like it, but a lot of people might hear it and open their ears and be like, yeah, I was doing that same shit when I was that age. Just kind of a little connection with the people, at least from the struggle. Just try to get live, we try to get hype, try to get loud. If it's Stellar on there, we're trying to get everybody involved. We're gonna try to get the whole crowd feeling like they're with us there the whole time, so we can feel like we're there with you the whole time.
Me and Utica, we met in a studio session through an artist that we were working with at the time.
First time I met Nino, I believe, was in 2008. He was just, he was with the camp at the time. I don't think Stellar was quite yet established. He was producing, doing his thing as usual. I was affiliated with another artist at the time, and he was doing some work with him, so I came through one day just to, check things out, lay a verse.
Sat down, he was a real humble dude. We chopped it up. He went in and laid a fire verse for one of my projects at the time, and didn't see him too much after that, and then we shot Young Cracker's music video.
First time I met Young Cracker was in 2010 for his first video shoot for a joint called They Don't Like Me.
Young Cracker's music video, we were looking for somebody that had some acting experience and wasn't scared. Called up Utica, he came down, he had some of the experience we were looking for.
He played a little part in there, and that's the first time I actually got to meet him and fuck with him a little bit. And after that shit, I got to hear a little bit of his tracks, and it was on the pop it.
From there, our relationship flourished. His music started to really catch on to me, so he was at a point in time in his life and in his music career that he was looking for something that it seemed like that was more structured, and he wanted to work with people and that were moving in the right direction that he had wanted also. So
I had already heard about Cam for a minute. Everybody was telling me you gotta check out Utica, he's spitting, he's cold.
Once everything became official and I joined the camp, man, I mean, it was nothing, it was basically just being around cats that I've known for a long time, and it was just like snowball effect. As soon as we got rolling, it's been history ever since.
we had a meeting, sat down, and he came onto the label.
I would say that, best way to describe me is I'm a blue collar artist. I represent, from the standpoint of, people who, work, make the world go round, wake up in the morning, put in their 8 or how many ever plus, and, come home. I came from a lower than middle class family, so I know how it is, struggle, things like that, and just, but I don't put anything into my records that I don't have, or talk about things that I don't necessarily do now. I feel especially where I come from, there's a standard that I try to uphold that necessarily you may not hear, consistently out here. So therefore, with that being said, and just the influence of music that I listen to, there's a certain sound that I go for. So I feel like people can hear that. They can hear that. My music is different from some of the things that they're used to listening to or what they find on the radio or anything like that. You can expect a real upbeat, energetic, from start to finish, just high energy show. I don't really like to turn it down a notch or anything like that. I do have my, my slow content, things like that, but usually I like to keep it high energy.
The future holds for SME to be better, to be stronger year by year. More shows. We're really gearing up to get out of state, do music festivals, take what we have and really push it across the nation and go worldwide with it. We've done tons of shows in state, in the region, but now it's just time that we start branching out and going state to state and really branding Stellar Music and who we are.
Just more of what we've been doing, more shows, more expansion, more motivation, more creativeness, just everything different that we could think of as a label, and to do it different than everybody's already doing it. I think that's probably the most important thing for us right now. 5-6 years from now, hopefully we're one of the strongest name labels that came out of Colorado, and that there's a strong force without the whole music industry, period.
Hopefully, just keep the independent grind going. Definitely hope that the masses catch on, and any A&Rs, record exec, talent scouts, anybody, definitely keep on the lookout for us.
I fail right now, I don't think I can count. I'm so loyal to the game, I can never be bought. Pray to God that I never get got. Say my prayer before I rest, I sleep with my Glock. And even